what you guys decided the strategy would be.
Okay. So, what would be early? Well, what would be? Is there something called early intervention?
Yes. When you realize that you are 2 to 3 months behind, and you had something catastrophic happen, meaning you lost your job, someone died in your family, someone got really sick, and now there are excessive medical bills. Those are the 3 reasons that people generally foreclose, and they've always foreclosed. This is not the only time that people have ever foreclosed.
Well, why are we hearing so much about it now?
Because when the banks got very lenient with credit back in the early 2000s,
how did they get lenient?
They stopped checking verification. They stopped checking records. They stopped checking your employment, your bank account, where your money came from. So it's really a banking catastrophe.
But the people are suffering.
Yes. Well, the banks
got bailed out.
The banks got bailed out by the people.
Is it bailout for the homeowner?
It should have been, but it is not. It has not so far been geared towards so much the homeowner. The bank has been bailed out, and that money was supposed to be passed through, and as of yet, it has not passed through in the manner in which it was anticipated.
Well, what is the problem, Rebba? In your professional opinion, what is the problem? Why did they say President Obama said that there's going to be a bailout of some sorts? I don't know if that was his exact words, but to make Rebba, all I know. Because some people have asked me, they've said, where's the bailout money? Right. Why were the banks bailed out, and why weren't we bailed out? What's going on?
The money was supposed to pass from the bank to you. The bank is being a lot more strenuous with their money than the government was in handing it to the bank.
But aren't they giving shareholders bonuses? And
Of course. But I mean,
call me confused.
There is no way to really say that was the right thing to do.
Okay.
Looking back, there should have been some restraints on what the bank could do with that money. There weren't, and there wasn't any restraint because they didn't anticipate it. They should have, they didn't. They were in a rush because the people were suffering, and they just handed them the money. That was actually the wrong thing to do. There should have been some restraints on that money. So now we're looking in hindsight and saying that the bank has to lend out the money. So it's pretty hard to get somebody to give the money once you've already given it to them.
Right, so the banks were bailed out with no accountability.
Exactly.
Under the Bush administration?
Yes, that's correct.
Or our dear President Obama has inherited such a mess, would you say?
Yes, I would.
And I've been quite impressed as a real estate professional also that something is being done. And that he gets it. But you spoke about early intervention. Now let's also, because under President Obama's administration, I also see a wonderful opportunity for home purchasing.
It's wonderful. It's a great opportunity to buy right now. Because of the market, because of the downfall in the prices, and in the Bay Area, prices have gone down anywhere from 17 to 50%. So you can now buy properties that you couldn't buy earlier. The interest rates are much better. Interest rates are down in the low 5s. Sometimes you can get interest rates in the high 4%, 30-year fixed. So those are great rates. Those are rates not seen in the last 30 years. But the flip side to that is you must qualify. You must have decent credit. You must have decent income.
Okay, hold on. Just excuse me for interrupting you, Rebba. Please get a pencil and paper if you have not done so. If you ever want to own a home, and I know you do, don't think that you can't. That's why we're here, because we can show you exactly how it's done, and Rebba specializes in this. So please, I just want to interject to make sure that you are paying attention, and if you have any questions for Rebba, you can call her at 415-621-4473. So about getting into the market at this time, Rebba?
Yes. It's an excellent time to get into the market, both as an investor and as a first-time home buyer. First-time home buyers have a lot of special programs that they can use, including no money down. Everybody thought no money down was gone. It is not gone. It is more restrictive, but it is not gone. If you've got good credit, good income, and good down payments, you can get a no money down loan.
Now, Rebba, would you get a no money down loan in this market, or would you rather put some money down?
It depends very much on the investor, on the person who is doing the buying.
If you're doing first time home buying.
Yes. It again depends. For the sophisticated buyer who understands that those rates are not fixed and not locked, For that person, I would highly recommend that, as opposed to taking money out of your 401k or out of your savings. I would recommend biting the bullet and doing the no money down loan. If you're buying a property that does not qualify, over $350,000, does not qualify for the no money down program, then put as little as possible. We've got to tighten our belts.
We do. Now, you know what? I'm glad you said that, because speaking of tightening our belts, you know, I wanted to share with our audience that my husband and I were blessed, and I want to thank you for your expert advice. I took Rebba's advice, and my husband and I are purchasing a home. Because I'm running for supervisor, I might as well tell you, I can tell you what my address is going to be, because my life has to become transparent. Private me. Anyway, we're moving to LeConte Circle, 48 LeConte Circle. God blessed us with the loan. The G word. We prayed that God's will would be done. But I listened to Rebba a long time ago. She stressed the importance of, and I'll let Rebba tell you, in order to take advantage of this market, I need to say the home we're purchasing is a foreclosure property. And we were blessed to take advantage of this market because we did these things. And what were the things? Rebba can tell you, because we all have to do the same things.
Right.
There's no discrimination.
There's no shortcuts anymore.
No shortcuts.
There's no shortcuts.
So in order to take advantage of this market right now,
Step one is you need to check your credit. You cannot buy a house without good credit.
How do you check your credit?
Cash. You need to go to a qualified real estate professional or loan agent who will pull your credit. All three credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Thank you. Pull all three of those credit reports to find out what your quote credit score is. Not only do you need to see your credit score, you need to see what credit. I just saw a credit report yesterday that just had the scores. That's great, but you also need to see what people are saying you owe them, who the creditors are, because 30% of the information on a credit report is inaccurate.
Exactly. And you know, let me just interject that. People hear about free credit report, free credit report. Person goes online, types in free credit report. Well, they see people asking for money. So let me say to you, when you type in free credit report, every year a person is entitled to a free credit report. So if they're asking for money, just continue to scroll down, because there's somewhere on that page, right, Rebba,
yes,
that then says, no thanks, I just want my free credit report. And that's what you will get. So if you don't go to one of these a qualified person, I would suggest, and Rebba, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would suggest that a person, depending upon their time frame,
okay,
if they want to purchase in this market, then they should
get their credit report pulled. Go ahead and go to the bank and have it pulled. That way you don't have any question about a free credit report. It's only $16 a person. So it's not that expensive. And you want it right. You want the credit report right. You want the one that has the credit scores and also every creditor ever listed on your credit report.
Right.
So that takes care of everything the very first time.
And I did notice on when I got a copy of my free credit report years ago, I did notice that there wasn't enough information. I still need to take it and have it processed.
Right.
And so I'm glad that you mentioned it's only $16. That's an investment in who? You.
Right.
So
you pull your credit report. Then you actually bring in all your documentation, your W-2s, your paycheck stubs, your bank statements, and any other assets, 401ks that you have that verify that you do have funds to close and funds to purchase.
So Rebba, you're saying that what a person should do is they should get, actually we should all have it on file, but if not, a person should make sure that they have their W-2s,
paycheck stubs.
Their paycheck stubs.
Or 1099s if they're
1099s and bank statements, usually for the last 60 days. 60 days.
You need 60 days. You need two paychecks, 2 bank statements, 2 years taxes, and 2 W-2s.
Okay,
so
now
two and two.
Two. And you know what we did? We gave them more than what they asked for. We gave them 2 months worth of bank statements. We gave them 2 months worth of stubs. We gave them more than what they asked for. And then 3 days before closing,
they asked for them.
They want it all over again.
Yes, they need to verify.
The key is to be patient.
Yes.
They have to verify. And I felt very comfortable. It was a little frustrating, but I felt very comfortable with the verification process. But let me say, as a result of following these steps, we are now homeowners in the community in which I love and where I grew up, Bayview Hunters Point. And I thank God. Oops,